Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott. Ruby Johnson, good evening to you. Tammy Always 100. Good evening to you. Love you the time. Thank you. As always, appreciate you all tuning into our live broadcast. Tonight, as you know, we're going to be addressing the issue of the recent rise of attacks on police officers in the United States. That is our topic for this evening. But if I had opened up the show and simply said, the chickens have come home to roost, I could have left them because the message has been preached. It's just as simple as that. But before we get into all of that, there are some issues that we do want to get out of the way that's getting a lot of attention. Faye, good evening to you. Love you big time. Thank you as always. Everywhere you look, doesn't matter what city, doesn't matter what state, there is some form of hatred, bigotry, and racism that won't die. At least 12 historical Black colleges and universities have been receiving bomb threats. That's hate. Tammy Always 100 says we already know why. Amen. Amen to that. And it's extremely sad that this is going on in 2022. As you hear me say often, some white people are always saying Black should let the past go, should leave it alone, forget about it. It's impossible to forget about the past, but even if we wanted to or tried, we couldn't, because our past continues to be our present. We are under attack on every need. Some of the schools, universities, had to immediately shut down. And I guess we can say these are reliable threats that probably will continue. And the thing about bomb threats or threats, period, you may not know when it's going to happen. So you have to stay prepared. Maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow, but something is getting ready to take place. There's so much hatred going on. It just puts like a blanket over LED, and all we have now is hate. Hate. We hate for no reason. We hate because your skin is dark, your skin is Black, your skin is light. Bottom line, you're Black. As long as our history continues to be our presence, not a damn thing has changed. I'm gonna say it again. Not a damn thing has changed. Nothing. Lisa Robertson, good evening. Good evening to you. Welcome. Welcome. We should not be facing the same issues in 2022 that Blacks faced in 1822. When police officers in this country kill someone, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. When police officers in this country interrupt somebody's home, somebody's car, or somebody's life, there's no big deal. There's no a big outcry from Democrats, or Republicans, powers that be. But when we see officers in the United States are now being attacked, it's a damn shame. These people have no regards for the law. I can say the same thing about police officers, and I know I will be 100% right. Okay, we're gonna get to that in a bit. This past weekend, y'all probably saw it. Donald Duck was in, I think, Texas, speaking to his fans. It's almost as if he believes or knows or it is true that he is untouchable. He can say whatever he wants to say. And nobody says, let's censor Trump. We want to censor everybody in the country but Trump. We want to censor Whoopi Goldberg. Then we have to come back and do damage control for speaking our truth. You don't want us to speak truth, but you're comfortable with us living your lives. Good evening, Murray. Thank you so much. Michelle Griffin, good evening to you as well. There was a major, I guess, embarrassment to the Republican Party when Donald Duck spoke. Donald Duck did the exact same thing before one vote was cast in the 2020 election. He did the exact same thing. On January the 6th, in a subliminal message, he gave his fans their marching orders. The other day, while in Texas, once again, through a subliminal message, Trump has given his fans their marching orders. Now, if I win in the 2024 election, I'm going to pardon all the January 6th insurrections. I'm going to. These are good people. These are law-abiding citizens, and they are being treated unfairly. Do you hear what's going on? Democracy is under attack. Donald Duck is more powerful now than he was when he sat in the White House doing something close to nothing. I hope there is the biggest protest that this country has ever seen all over the world. So if I don't win, y'all know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Trump has no regards for the law, doesn't care about the United States Constitution, probably has never read it. He does whatever he wants to do. But when we speak lies and hatred like that, here's what happens. You're going to see an increase in racial profiling. You're going to see an increase of cops committing violence in the midst of this, because someone has spoken and said attack, and attack in a vicious way. Some things ought not be so. Some things ought not be said. Miss Louise Royal, good evening to you. Some things, I mean, we can think anything we want to think in this world. It's just not always good to say what you're thinking. So he has once again given marching orders to tear the country up because he has to sit in the White House. He has to sit there. I have to sit there because I have to give out pardons. You do. It has to be something somewhere in law that can censor a former president, especially when he or she is dividing the country, when he or she is promoting racism, bigotry. And I'm going to change gears for a minute. I cannot and I will not, you all saw this, presidential debate. I cannot and I will not denounce the Proud Boys. I will not denounce white supremacists. I'm not going to do that. Why? Because if I did that, I'm talking about me. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Maya Angelou says, when someone show you who they are, you better believe them. You better believe them. But I find it appalling, despicable, outright criminal to call Black prosecutors racist, radical, vicious people if they do not do their job correctly. We must have a protest. So what would be their job correctly to Donald Duck? Drop the case and leave it alone and say, there's nothing to see here, people. Anything and everything that I can do to interrupt democracy and interrupt an investigation on me, my company, and on my family, I will do it with no shame. He doesn't give a damn about the country, and he never will. This dude just excited a civil war. And he knows it. I don't think there has been a president in U.S. history that has been as vicious and diabolical as the jackass that once sat in the White House, Donald J. Duck. We teach people, we teach kids what to do if you don't win, if you don't get your way. We teach them what to do. We teach them how to respond to it. If your resume don't put you down, that's not your seat. But he knows his resume don't put him down. He has a job to do, and I must get back in there to finish. The prosecutors are not playing with it. They're not. You can't bully these prosecutors and make them drop the case. But here's what you just did. You just made it worse for yourself. You always speak on emotions. You never address issues by law. Why? Because you don't give a damn about the law. You're always in your feelings. It's about you. Don't interrupt me. Let me do what I want to do. I'm Donald Duck. If the prosecutors was come out tomorrow, breaking news stories, all of them, and say, we just got some more dirt on Donald Duck. He will go somewhere and speak again and immediately tell them, tear the country up. They're being unfair to me. Tear it up. And they're gonna tear it up. They know he can win. But they speak his language and they share his views. You can't be trying to uphold and respect democracy when your actions tells a different story. The known racist, documented he's a racist, has the audacity to call someone else racist. That's not the way present or past presidents have addressed issues. It's not. It's not. We don't call people thugs when they're protesting against cops in this country who daily commit violence against people of color. Incidentally, it's funny when we're protesting about police brutality, racism, police killings of unarmed, innocent Black boys and Black men, Black girls, and Black women. What we're protesting against happens to us in the midst of a protest. Nobody's getting the message. They hear you, but they're not listening to you. All they're doing, they're not trying to hear what you're saying. All they're doing is waiting to respond. That's all they're doing. Waiting to respond to what you just said. Anyone see that we are in some serious trouble? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. The war is coming, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's coming. It's coming. We want Erykah Badu to be quiet. We want Kelly Price to be quiet or tell the truth about what she knows R. Kelly did. She had to see it. Again, censor Whoopi Goldberg. Nobody never looks at the jackass that left the White House. He's not speaking. He's not speaking. If you think in her 6 will tell, wait until what he pulls out of his hat next. In 2021, police in the United States killed 1,134 people. There were only 15 days in 2021 where police in this country did not kill someone. Some of the lawmakers in the great, wonderful state of Virginia are asking for anyone who murders a cop to receive the death penalty. They get the cop. They get the cop. Police in this country will give a death sentence in the twinkling of an eye, broad daylight. Broad daylight. We do not kill our police officers. They're here to protect us. I don't know who they're protecting, but I know who they're not protecting. Police in this country is nothing but a game. That's it. These are thugs that carry badges and guns. You want the death penalty for anyone that kills a cop. I mean, it don't make sense. You can't make it make sense, because if that be the case, if your officers are so righteous, so without stain, why are so many of them giving people the death sentence without even arresting or taking them to jail? They just come on the scene, boom, 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 boom. If you want a decrease in violence in this country, if you want to see a decrease, then you must first address the issue of cops killing people in the United States. I don't give a damn about them being a cop. We cannot restore them over no one else. A cop's life means a lot. Their life is better than anyone else's. We have to protect them. We have to protect them. We have to. We won't address police reform because everything is going according to plan. Everything. We don't give a damn about civilians being killed. We do not want our officers killed. But if it happens, they must receive the death penalty. The reason why you are not seeing an increase of violence on police officers in this country, it's really simple. It's simple. The system will not hold police officers accountable. Prosecutors don't like prosecuting crooked killer cops. If I receive nothing, no form of punishment for what I do to you, then I will only get worse with what I do, because I'm covered. I'm covered. My people are going to cover me. I'm a police officer. I can do what I want to do. And that's not true. No one is above the law, especially the law. So, with the recent shootings and killings of police officers in this country, it's easy to figure out why. Since the system, watch this, since the system will not hold you accountable for your actions, the game just changed. They're going to hold police officers accountable on the streets. That's what they're going to do. Look, I don't give a damn. You have to be held accountable for your actions, but the system won't do it. So let's get some men and women that will pronounce judgment to their ass in the middle of the street. You know why there's an increase in violence against cops. They orchestrated this. They need this. They crave for this. They prayed for this day. Surely you knew it was coming. Surely you knew. And it ain't over. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. They created something that they themselves are not able to deal with. The chickens have come home to roost. These cops are minding their business, and yet they're being killed for no reason. And the state of Virginia wants the death penalty for anyone who kills a cop. So what are they saying to you and I? Just civilians. Y'all life don't mean shit. But when you kill a cop, enough is enough. We will not tolerate violence. Bullshit. Cops commit violence every day. Cops commit criminal cases every day. And we don't hold them accountable. If you want the violence to drop, have a meeting with your cops. Cops have killed more people in this country than any gang has ever done or could do. Here's the thing about karma. When karma shows up on the scene, we said payback is a bitch, and it is. But here's the thing about karma. You think what you've done to someone will be done unto you. Maybe not. Here's the thing about karma. It does not have to necessarily come back to you and come back to you in the same form. Streets, they have no rules. They have no rules. It's just like drug dealers. The guy owed the drug dealer $1 million and he can't produce it. The drug man says, I'm not gonna worry about it. You good. Me and you agree here. You good. I'm not gonna do nothing to you. Don't worry about it. Relax. We're fine. I'm not gonna do anything to you. And he's telling the truth. But what he failed or neglected to tell that individual that owed him $1 million, I'm not gonna mess with you, but I'm gonna get somebody in your family. Matter of fact, I want to take out your whole family because I want you to remember me until the day you die. Police have become violent. And They're under attack. They're under attack. It is what it is. It ain't. It ain't what it ain't. Be careful what you sow, because you are weak. And if you know you cannot deal with the consequences of your criminal actions, I suggest you stop doing it. But people in the United States, no surprise, people in the United States have gotten tired. They have gotten tired of cops just doing what the hell they want to do, and they're not being held accountable. So you get someone who don't give a damn, that's ready to die to straighten it out. When that person gets fed up, hell is about to lay in the streets. It's coming. They have zero understanding. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're a rookie. You have a badge on, boom. And now we must feel sorry for the police in this country that are up under attack. I can't see it. I have no pity for them whatsoever. Be careful what you create, because a lot of times you will not be able to deal with what you yourself created. This is not a surprise. They knew this day was coming. They knew it was coming. If the parent has spoken to the other parent about their child continuing picking on theirs, and the parents never addressed the issue, well, it's going to almost be something like fear thy neighbor. The school won't address it. The parents, their parents won't. Then I'm going to address it. And they will address it in the worst way imaginable. If you would grant the state of Virginia the death penalty, it will be extremely bad. But we have to look and say, well, how did we get here? How did we get to where we're at today? Because a lot of folks don't look at it this way. So, I mean, how did we get here? What happened to where cops went bad? Well, cops didn't go bad. They did. They've always been that way. They've always been that way. But we must try and figure out how did we get here, and then maybe you can understand why these things continue to happen. I'm going to share a couple of things with you. Before there was police, there were what they call slave patrol. They were there to capture slaves and take them back to their masters, because they were nothing but property. I think it started out with 10, and they were on a mission. Negroes. So before we had the police, we had slaves patrol, which mainly focused on slaves, which were mainly what? Black. So that part of the police did not die. It just went from slave patrol to police to confuse you. Especially when, well, slavery's over. How do we keep them? How do I keep my store open? I need a nigger. What do we do? Start messing with them. They're nothing but problems. They're nothing but problems. And so now today, it rolls over to the next family, the next family, the next family, the next family. And all families have the same agenda: kill with or without reason. What I'm trying to say is that it cannot die because it was orchestrated the way it is. It was. That's why people get so upset when you bring up defunding the police. We can't do that. We can't do that. Police reform, we can't do that. We can't do any of that because we're going against the creed if we were to do that. So we cannot. But now there is a big deal about police officers in the United States being under attack. So, I mean, surely you didn't think people would just continue to let this go on and nobody address the issue. If you're going to offer the death penalty for someone who kills a police officer, what the hell do you think the penalty should be for a police officer who kills someone without reason? You don't want to address that. So before we can address the death penalty for killing a cop, let's address the penalty for a cop killing people just because they can pull the damn trigger or beat them to death. Let's address that. What should the punishment be for that killer cop? I know. Yeah. Firing squad. You cops are now being held accountable in the streets for what you've been doing. I hope you're happy. But realize this, you ain't seen hell yet. You haven't seen it yet. You want to beat my ass, kill my black ass, and say it's okay. You've been in jail before, it's okay. No big deal. No big deal. But when you kill someone with a badge, oh, it's the ultimate sin. I expect the law to know the law. I expect the law to uphold the law. If it the law, police officers should not be exempt from their actions. When we do that, we tell that cop, you're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. And the cop does. And it becomes a pattern. But the cop, a long time now, cops in the United States have had their way. They answer to nobody, especially and they've killed people
They've killed people just because they could do it. It's just as simple as that. If you don't want to be attacked, don't attack. You shouldn't. People are getting tired. Around the country, people are getting fed up with the actions of police officers, as if they're exempt from any form of punishment. You look at what's her name, Kim Potter. When she killed Daunte Wright, she did not communicate through radio what just happened. She didn't. She didn't. She did not render aid to the brother that she had just put a bullet in. Ms. Hodgins, good evening to you. Always a pleasure to see you on my live. Love you big time. They say, watch this. The officer, I hate when they say this because it's a lie. The officer, talking about Kim Porter, after she shot him, she collapsed. She did not collapse. Okay? She did not collapse. She didn't. Here's what she did. She deliberately fell down. Look it up when his life is over. There's a difference. She deliberately fell down. Now watch this. Here's where her mind was right after she killed Daunte Wright. Oh, go to prison! You're a cop. Whether you ever had to use your gun or not, you're a cop. This shit shouldn't overtake you like that. You just shot someone. You just killed someone. And you're still not thinking about them. You're thinking about Kim Porter. I'm going to prison. That's about the only time she ever spoke the truth. That was it. Prosecutors are now asking for her amount of time in prison to be increased. And I'm in total agreement with that. So when cops kill, there's no remorse. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And the system will try as best they can not to arrest that cop. We don't want to do that. We will come out and lie, like the chief did, and say, it was just a terrible accident. No, it was not a terrible accident. Let us not forget, the month before she killed Daunte Wright, she had just been recertified in weapons training, recertified in taser. Her taser's light, it's yellow. This side, that side. You got to pull it. So okay, hit the end. But if you don't and you just do this here, boom, you had a gun in your hand. Pink hand, I saw, I think it was 9 millimeter Glock. And with the amount of time she stood there with the Glock pointed at Daunte Wright, surely she looked and said, oh my God, this is my Glock. Surely she was like, oh, this thing is getting heavy. Oh my God, it's heavy because it's not the taser. She's like, what is it black? Oh my God, it's black because that's the gun. The taser's yellow. Oh my God. She did what she wanted to do. She did. Cops must be held accountable for their actions. But if the system don't do it, yes, they will continue to take it to the streets. And I have no problem with that at all, none whatsoever. Whatever you don't want done to you, don't do it to someone else, and don't lie. Don't lie. You don't want us to lie. You don't want us to commit criminal acts. Well, ain't that something? And you'll put handcuffs on me, and you will take me to jail. A criminal taking a criminal to jail. A cop's life doesn't mean anything extra, anything spectacular. You're a cop, that's it. That's just it. You're not exempt from going to prison when you break the law. You're not. Before we get out here again, it hasn't got as bad as it's going to get for police officers in this country. Remember, the same thing happened 3 years ago in Dallas, Texas. Before you can tell me to do right by the law, you must first yourself do right by the law. And don't see yourself as exempt. You're gonna lower the flag, police officers have been killed. And we will not tolerate that violence in this country. If you want to talk about not tolerating violence in this country, I suggest you have a meeting with the police. Seriously. I suggest you do that. Slave patrol got us here. The way police officers in the country right now are addressing the recent attacks on police officers, they are aggressively addressing. I wonder why they don't aggressively address killer cops, their actions. We can't be one-sided with this and be the law and be justice. We cannot. We cannot. Qualified immunity, it must go. It has to go. Prosecutors have to go that don't want to prosecute killer cops. You have to go. You have to go. There's no room for you here. You can't do whatever you want to do because you're a police officer. And as a prosecutor, you can't come in there and say, well, this is one of my people, the law enforcement. They did nothing wrong. It's justifiable homicide. They can slap justifiable on the homicide in less than 2 damn seconds after they've killed somebody. It's always justifiable homicide. So I don't know what the hell does justifiable homicide mean when you kill someone that doesn't have a weapon. If you don't like your job, then quit. There was a lady said, I forget her name, but I shared a post, and I'm probably gonna put it up tonight or tomorrow. Cover of our Facebook page. She said, black lady, speaking about cops killing us. She said something to the extent about we're tired, we're fed up, but for every one of us that you kill, we're gonna come and kill at least 2 of you guys. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes what she's saying. Well, I don't see a problem with it. Here's what she's doing. She's giving them a warning. She's giving them a warning, and they need to take heed to it, because whether you believe it or not, the truth is the truth, and it don't change because you don't like it. It will come to pass. If you want to stop assaults on police officers in this country, prosecute killer cops. It's as simple as that. When they lose everything. But since they fear nothing, they continue to do what they want to do. And every encounter with a person of color is personal with cops.
We the people didn't have anything to do with people of color. We were not included in that. We wasn't. And if the system could have its way, we would all be back in slavery. We would all be, once again, considered property.
So you can do whatever the hell you want to do with property, especially when it's yours. It's only going to be worse. I have no pity. I don't. I can't. I think about Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown. I get upset. I get pissed. I'll sit at home on administrative leave with pay. You can't make that make sense. You cannot. You can't make it make sense. People are tired. And it's kind of like, you know, when a person gets tired, I mean, you begin to see the changes. And not only that, they would do something that you never saw coming. I'm gonna say it again. They would do something that you never saw coming. It's kind of like the soul. Yeah, I'm sure Ms. Hodge is gonna agree to this. When the soul gets tired, the soul must rest. It's just that simple. We've gotten tired of being beat on, kicked down, criticized, locked up, racial profile, beatings, shootings, tasering us. We're being beat with batons. And the powers that be don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Well, I can't, maybe to a degree we can make prosecutors do what they were called to do, but for the most part, you can't do nothing. But they won't hold them accountable. So if you don't hold them accountable, somebody will. And I dare you have the audacity to ask for the death penalty for people that kill police officers. Police departments is the most violent game on planet Earth. God said, y'all been going around this same mountain for a long time. I mean, a long time. You've been going around this mountain over and over and over. And you accomplished it. You've been on this mountain too long. And people are fed up. Some people never had an encounter with cops like this. Some people never had anyone in their family to have an encounter with police officers. But yet and still, they're coming out in full force to join with those who have been attacked by cops to say enough is enough. Now, we can do A or B. A, the system, go ahead, hold them accountable, or B, we'll deal with them in the streets. There's not another option. There is not another option. Cops are not protecting no damn body. They're killing us. But we're not protecting nobody of color. So we don't need them. Oh, you know we need the police. No, we don't. No, we don't. That's like saying I need an executioner to come and move in with me. That's super stupid. You're not for me. You are against me. And you said, I should trust you. Oh, good Lord Jesus. You cannot be serious.
Louisiana State Police, a while back, kills a black guy. Line said died in a wreck. It's not what the camera saw. It's not what the camera saw. We're only getting to see a very small portion of what cops in this country do every day. So with that being said, imagine what they do that we don't know about and will never know about. If you're going to hold citizens accountable for their criminal acts, cops are no different. They must be held accountable, just like everyone else. The chickens have come home to roost. You did it. You all created this. Y'all did it. And you cannot deal with it. You're your own stumbling blocks. You've signed your own death certificate. The same energy that the system is using to aggressively address the recent attacks on police officers, I would love to see that same energy when cops kill innocent people. I would love for you to bring that to the light and say, we're not going to tolerate it.
We're not going to tolerate it. I think it was the mayor in New York, I think, said that we're not going to tolerate this no damn more. No damn more. What? But it's okay for us to tolerate it, but you don't, because you're big. And it, so now it's, but the only way things are going to change is that we have to change the system. They're not going to do it. They're not going to. We have to get in there, and we have to do it. We have to. We have to. And I understand police officers, every police officer, when they leave their home, here's something that every police officer do not know. They do not know whether or not they're going to make it back home alive. It's a dangerous job. But guess what? You chose that damn profession, not me. When you are a police officer, and we know a lot of times dealing with certain people, death comes, shooting happens. Now, when you out here aggressively messing with people, you cannot enter into your mind that you're a cop, I'm gonna get away with it, maybe for a while. But the day has come where you must pay. And to all of you good cops out there, you're not good cops. I don't know. I can't tell you two apart. I cannot. I can't. We should not be scared of the police in 2022. The things the police are doing in this country, they should not be doing. Who do we run to when we need him? I don't know who you would run to, but I know who I'm not running to. I'm not. Y'all orchestrated this thing, but yet nobody wants to address that. Why they're under attack? Well, it's just anti-police. They don't like the police. That's all. The same people don't like the government. They don't like obeying. So that's why. No, that's not why. The reason is you orchestrated this. That's why cops are under attack. Sometimes you gotta force people to get it together. You have to. You have to force them to get it together. Tonight, the links of a lot of the stats that I use will be based up on our Justice Investigation Facebook page. Oh my God, I'm late. Okay, well, I came on later thing. Anyway, as always, we thank you all for tuning into our live broadcast. Tomorrow night, getting on willing, I think it's R. Kelly. It's R. Kelly tomorrow night. We're talking about his broadcast. Remember, if you like what we're doing, please share.